I'm going to fulfill my desires there. Why would I pay 10 grand? That protects you towards an evil man. So does your father, because a man knows a man. Yeah. If somebody's coming to marry my sister, I'm going to say, let me talk to him. Let me see what he's about. If he's serious, he's going to have no problem meeting me. Number two, if I say, okay, here we go, 10 grand or whatever, your dowry, that protects you in case if a man acts stingy or he ducks out. You have that security for you and your kids. Do you get it? That's the reason why the Sharia has stipulated that a woman, you go to the father and that you have to give a dowry. Why? Because that's your right. So it protects you against certain man with wrong intentions. And you can ask for whatever you like. If he's rich, Allah says, whoever has the means, spend. So you can come and say, I want 50 grand. You can ask for £1 million. You might not get married, that's a different story. But the thing is, you can ask for whatever you like. That's your protection. So you, against certain men who will want to take advantage of you. Do you get where I'm trying to come from?
Yeah, I can understand.
And you can work as well. If you're a Muslim woman, you can be taken care of. And you can go work, go do a part-time job. That money is yours. Your husband can't touch your money. If every woman knew what was talking about family, you go shopping, happy days, yeah? But sadly, not a lot of Muslim men implement this, yeah? Why? Because they don't follow the Quran properly. Not all of them, but I'm saying some. So that's how it is. You know, this is why Islam gives a right of a woman protecting you against slander. If somebody talks ill of you, they get lashed in public. Let everybody see his humiliation, because he was trying to slander you. That's why that's there. You know, all these things are in place, sister, because prevention is better than cure. We don't say, okay, go gamble. If you become a gambling addict, we'll have a course for you. What the hell? Go drink alcohol. Because if you become an alcoholic, we'll try to, you know, what's it called? Rehab. Yeah, go rehab. How about you don't go there in the first place? How about you do not drink alcohol at all? Yeah, I got apple juice, orange juice, grape juice. I got all kind of juice. Why would I go and drink alcohol? Gambling, stay away from it. Going and sleeping around, stay away from it. Why? It causes diseases. Not only that, it causes corruption. You're going sleeping around, you're ducking out, you're disappearing, you're leaving that child with no father. A lot of the sisters have daddy issues. Yeah? You know what's daddy issues? They want somebody like their father in their life, and the father's not there. What do they do? They go in for some next man who gives, you know, says a few words, and they fall for it and they get broken. They get their hearts broken, yeah? And I cover this in my marriage documentary still. You can watch it, yeah, subscribe, like, and share. But the reason why, because it's, Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا زِنَا. Don't even come close to illegal sex. Don't come closer. You know what that means? That doesn't mean we hold hands. It means text messaging, anything. Stay away from it, because it destroys your soul. Heartbreak is one of the biggest problems.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then how come you're allowed to own concubines then?
I don't know what kind of paranormal activity you've been watching, but
I was going to ask a question about you were
James,
saying
we're in good terms. Don't
regarding the marriage of Aisha and her age.
Sorry, Aisha,
the
yeah.
marriage of Aisha, and you said that
Yeah.
the times evolve.
Yes.
So regarding like capital punishment and
Yeah.
like cutting off of hands,
Yes.
why can't that also be like keep the principle of making those things maybe illegal or you know kind of deterred, but why implement like things that worked a long time ago but not necessarily work today?
But we don't know if it will work today. So for example, sister, you need to understand something. The Sharia, the Islamic Sharia, we're not looking out to cut people's hands. We're not like, yo fam, listen, catch somebody, we'll chop his hand up in pieces, yeah? Or yeah, you know, find the adulterer, we're not looking for it. The get-go, because I'm studying a book from Sheikh Salih Al-Fawzan, yeah? It goes through the Islamic jurisprudence, yeah? There is ijma, yeah? I think it was one of the scholars, Ibn Mudir, if I'm not mistaken. He said that the judges, they are not out there to execute it. They are out there to look for any kind of excuse to deter it. So what that means is, sister, that in any way, shape or form, it's there to prevent. Because in today's age, I find this very weird, yeah? We give more right to the criminal. My man breaks in your house, you can't touch it. What? You break him, okay, yeah, here you go, here's my gold, what was your, I'll carry it for you. Like, seriously, the criminal has more rights, and that's the reason why the feds, what was happening? There was that madness with the peds, remember? In Shepherd's Bush, they even broke into my car, yeah? I need to call them, I was going to mash them up still. But they ran off, yeah? Yeah, actually, literally, they broke into my car, we caught the man had my jacket. He's on the ped with my jacket. He walked past me, yeah? So me and the jab jumped, it's a long thing anyway still. But the thing is, what happened with the police? They were chasing them. When they were getting a bit dangerous, taking their helmets off, they would stop the chase. Remember? And they realized it was madness. And when I was chasing these guys, I saw 5-6 cars smashed. What did the feds do? They said, now banda, now we're going to ram these guys, yeah? After they start ramming these guys, yeah, with their car, boom, man, start flying like Superman, yeah? That's what happened then. Afterwards, the crime, boom, went down. Why? Because the feds, they understood taking their helmet off. Oh, no. When we give more right to the criminal, then sister, we're going to have corruption in the land. You're going to have people coming as you're walking, snatch your phone. We need to make them scared. So what that means is, Man losing your hand, I'm not asking for it. I'm saying in an Islamic country, that's there. Why? Because if you know you're going to lose your hand, bruv, I don't want to lose my hand. Yeah? Okay, how am I going to do boxing? You get me? Yeah. So, what that means is, and when you do it in front of a group of believers. Why? So they can see and say, look, Banda, I don't want that to happen. And in Islamic history, go and look and find out, I don't know exactly how many times this was implemented. The Prophet, peace be upon him, a woman came to him once and said, I committed adultery. The Prophet moved. No, it was Mars, it was a companion. The Prophet moved away from him. He came to him and said, he moved away from him 3-4 times. Why? If we want to implement it, the Prophet, you know what the Prophet said to him? He said, maybe you just winked at her. Maybe you just kissed her. Yeah? He was trying his best to deter the punishment. But he was saying, no, I've done it. I want the capital punishment. So, from the get-go, the Sharia doesn't want to cut anybody's hand off. It's there as a deterrent, so you can walk in the street safely. So your honor is protected, so next man doesn't come and talk rubbish about you, yeah? So these measures are in place, sister, to protect your well-being. Psychologically, mentally, physically, spiritually. It's there so you can be protected in all forms of angles. That's why it's there.
It was also more regarding like things that like not necessarily like violent crime or murder,
Yes.
but things that modern society would consider like not necessarily as taboo as it was, like sex outside of marriage, for example.
Yeah.
That you can be lashed, or if you're married, you can be killed. Like why implement things that were more taboo back then in something in a way that's not necessarily appropriate for nowadays? Because I've seen, I think it was Omar Suleiman who said that we don't have any like pure Islamic society.
Oh, that's good. Right.
So therefore, it doesn't make sense that we would implement these laws that were implemented in a pure Islamic society, in a society that's changed, because the laws of the people don't match.
Did he say that?
I believe it was him or somebody.
If he said that, he's wrong. If he said that. But what I'll say is this, sister. Yeah, look. Firstly, you need to understand something. From the get-go, the Sharia doesn't want anybody's hands to be cut off. From the get-go, yeah? It's there to implement, but we're not out there looking for it. Now, implemented in today's age, we haven't seen it to see what the results will be. So to push it away because it sounds gruesome, yeah, I would say is not fair. Why? So, for example, because to say, okay, we're westernized and we're civilized now, okay, hold on a second, we're westernized, we're civilized, okay, no problem. If that's the case, we have gambling addicts, alcoholics, we have people robbing people like it's happy days. What is the solution for that? Go prison with the TV, PlayStation, and go you stab next man, take his life, and what do you get? Life in prison, night and day. It's counted as 2 days. Boom, you come out. They give you 15 years life in prison. You come out in 7 years. You're good inside. Wash some dishes. You come out in 5 years, and you've taken somebody's life. Is that justice?
I wouldn't deny that Western society.
I have no problem with it. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make you understand.
I wouldn't say Western society and civilization are like synonyms. I wouldn't deny that Western society has problems. There's definitely better ways to do it. But I don't necessarily think if somebody, for example, is an alcoholic and they start drinking anyway, because people will do things in private anyway, and we know that happens in life. But they'll become alcoholics, and if they drink out in public, how would be lashing them or killing them be another better solution?
Okay, all right. So basically, number one, you don't kill somebody who drinks alcohol. Yeah, you lash them. The people have differed of what the punishment would be. Now, Islam cares about the wider society than the individual. So the West says no. Each individual has his rights. He wants to drink alcohol, he can drink alcohol. But if we say his alcohol is having a harm on this community, Islam prioritizes the community rather than an individual who wants to drink alcohol or smoke crack or whatever. Yeah. So what we're saying is, sister, for the well-being, for the greater good of people, if we know alcohol causes harm, stay away from alcohol. So, and this is based on if you're living in an Islamic country, yeah? Okay, we believe if it's there, there's justice. So if somebody realizes that if I steal, and when I mean steal, we're not talking about some petty thing, somebody who's poor. He goes out there, he's got money, he's okay, but he wants to go and steal a man who's wealthy. Why are you going to his property? He's had a hard living. Imagine you celebrate Christmas, yeah? Yeah, and a lot of robberies happen in Christmas, yeah? You bought your children all the gifts, all the presents. It's going to be a happy day. Next man comes in, breaks in, takes everything. Ruins your day, ruins your children's presents, your life, your savings that you've done, yeah? We're saying that person should not have, why does he have a right? You should have a right. This is the reason why we're saying if somebody says, okay, if I get caught, what's man's going to get? Okay, all right, 1 year, I'll go paint some wall, your community service, clean some rubbish in there. But if he says, hold on a second, I might lose an arm. I'm going to lose an arm. You know what? Yeah, Banda, I don't lose my arm. I'm not going to do that. So it's there as a deterrent, sister. See it as a deterrent. Why? So your family can, because you're Christian?
Kind of agnostic.
Okay, agnostic. Okay, you celebrate Christmas. Have you right to celebrate your Christmas? Why should somebody come and ruin that for you?
Yeah.
When you're walking down the road with your friend, why should you fear, okay, you know what if some next man comes, and why should you feel that? So it's there, sister, to protect. If you look at Islamic civilization, very low times this was implemented. You know why? Because nobody stole no one's thing. They didn't find the need to. You know, they didn't go around sleeping with left, right, center. Why? Because you might say, okay, look, everyone has a right to go and have sex with whoever they like. Okay, but the harms that come with it is greater. STDs, that's just one argument. Number two, fathers who leave their kids. A lot of these guys who do these knife crimes, stabbing people, their fathers are not in their life. So do you see how the impact has on the society? Indirectly, we don't realize, but that sex that next man had, for 10 seconds or whatever, and he ducks out and he goes, he's left that woman. That woman now has to look after that child, has to provide for that child because he's gone. You can't find him. Suffering with child benefits or wherever it may be. Theresa May making it mash up as well. Yeah. So she's going through all of that. Now she needs to get that child, education, etc. Now that child is brought up in the mash-up system. The father is not in his life. He turns to the roads. He goes and he thinks he's a gangster, fights over postcode that he doesn't even bloody own. Yeah. You know that thing you see, street names. Yeah. N1. You don't even own that, and you're killing people over it. Yeah. So now that child is the result of illegitimate sex. Yeah. Now what we're saying is Islam is there to protect that. Again, no man should come and give you false promises, sleep with you and duck out, because the society, the corruption that you're causing in the land is greater. That's why Allah says in the Quran, corruption is worse than murder, like killing someone. What that means is, if one person who's causing corruption in the land, let's say if one person comes and says, let's overthrow the British government, yeah, him saying that and causing corruption and many people dying is better that that man is executed for treason than causing 20, 30 people to die. Do you get it? So we're going for the greater good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but regarding like the whole idea of like, you know, capital punishment or lashes for somebody who, you know, has sex outside of marriage
Yes.
or cheats on somebody, that doesn't necessarily mean that there couldn't be a kid who's messed up because their parents get divorced.
Oh no, of
because
course,
that
of course.
happens.
There's a lot of
You know,
look.
there's other ways that this could result from,
Yeah.
so it doesn't necessarily
No,
justify
yeah.
doing that to those people.
Of
and
course
there's
not.
plenty of people who have sex outside of marriage and they have safe sex and there's never a pregnancy. So, you know, and also people who are, you know, they're not having, you know, straight sex, if that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
So,
No, look, I've never said that every single child who's brought up with no father is mashed up. No, because I can give, and Mohammed Hijab has said this publicly, so I'll give you an example, yeah? His parents were divorced, yeah? And look at Mohammed Hijab. He's a beautiful brother. He does amazing work. He was brought up by a single mother. Yeah, may Allah bless his mother. Look, and I'm not trying to praise him to his face because I know his faults, yeah? And that's something I slap him about, but that's a different story. Don't tell nobody. But the thing is, he's a fine example of somebody who's brought up with the father not in their life, but good results. He's somebody who's there, he's a good person, he's a good individual, you know, he loves his religion, he loves people, etc. So I'm not saying generally, but I'm saying what it comes back to is prevention is better than cure. Because just because a few doesn't, we need to look at it holistically. If it's having a massive impact, then we can't say, okay, there's a few options that, for example, there's people who have intercourse with contraceptives, so therefore, no. But there's a lot of people who get STTs.
yeah.
They still have
But should
contraceptives.
the people that aren't really harming the society, if they get caught doing it, you know, sex
Okay,
outside marriage,
okay.
should they be lashed or killed?
Okay, no,
even
sister.
if they're not
No, sister. Okay, so for example, if someone's a homosexual in an Islamic country that's run by full Sharia, yeah, if that person is having sex with a man in his house, nobody can say nothing because it's not known, and if anybody accuses it, they get whipped for slander. Now, if somebody, let me put it like this: I can't come and say, okay, I saw Mary having intercourse with a man. Do you know what happened to me? I'll get lashed for slander. There has to be 4 witnesses who see, they say the pen going in the ink, literally. Not, I saw them kissing. If 4 people's witnesses do not match one another, they all get whipped for slander. So it's not an easy case of, oh yeah, I just saw. No, you have to see explicit, 4 of you, same spot, seeing exactly what happens. And that's quite,
It can also be shown by pregnancy, though.
there is some.
But yeah, but that'd be they take that as evidence that zina has occurred if a woman gets pregnant.
I think Ibn Taymiyyah in his Majmu' al-Fatawa, I think he says something along those lines that it can be proven by pregnancy. But I'm actually, I think, are you reading?
There is a
are you reading
difference
Sheikh
of opinion, but it's something
Sheikh
that's
Saleh
happened.
Fawzan's book of, is that what you're reading? Because I'm going through it today recently. Islamic
You should tell her about some of the spicy
no,
opinions in
no.
that
We're getting extra spicy now. It's just I'm just giving lemon and herb first, yeah. So the thing is, sister, is that there is different ways of going about it. But the point here is this: Islam is there to protect the wider society. So one man wanted to have sex with next door neighbor's wife. If that's going to cause a greater harm, don't. The reason why stoning to death, this is the punishment, yeah? And once again, the Prophet 3 times moved away from a companion who confessed. He said, I've done this. He said, look, go away. Just go away. He acted like he didn't hear it. He even, when he confronted him so much, he said, okay, maybe you kissed him. Okay, maybe you kissed her. Maybe you touched her. Why? Because Islam doesn't want to execute it. Islam's whole point is there as a deterrent. Don't do it. It causes more greater harm. That's all it is. So then we can live in a society where I don't need to fear next man moving to next man's wife. I can live in a society where theft is not happening. I can live in a society. So it's there holistically to protect the community. So that's why it's there.
I do recall saying, it's kind of vague, excuse me, but
okay.
basically it was, there's like this one society living under an Islamic state, and they have a thing where guys are able to marry their mothers. And Islamically, that's against. I know it's very vague.
Where is that?
I don't.
They need the Sharia there straight away.
Yeah, but no, it was existing
marry
under
their,
an Islamic state.
They can marry their
it's
mothers.
Very vague. I'm sorry. Yes, it was a minority group. They weren't Muslims. It was a minority group living under Muslim rule.
Oh, okay.
But there was a law, like an exception for them to be able to be governed by their own like religious laws.
Oh yeah. Like for example, that's why jizya comes into it. Which James loves this. Like when he hears jizya, look how happy he goes. Look at him. He's like, yes.
So regarding people that don't adhere to Islam or not Muslims.
No, you can live. You can live like the Prophet ﷺ's time.
But in some states that I don't know what your opinions on are, like what societies that say they're implementing Islamic law, if they're really implementing Islamic law.
That's the thing, they don't.
But societies that are doing that, that's not really the case. People are kind of expected to conform to the laws that govern Muslims but aren't governing them because they're not a part of that religion.
Yeah, so for example, this is the reason why jizya is, sorry, what happened?
5 minutes.
Oh, is it breaking my fast, yeah? I didn't know that.
We've got like 10 minutes.
But has anyone got dates? Halal ones I'm talking about. Yeah? Okay, I need to break my fast 2 minutes, sister, yeah? Sorry, we need to break our fast. Man's been fasting for very long, yeah? Sister, so, jizya is for the people of the book, the Christians, the Jews, and some say Magians, yeah? Fire worshippers.
What about like Hindus and Buddhists?
No, sorry.
What happens to them?
I don't know exactly, but for example, if I'm not mistaken, in the Arabian Peninsula, they couldn't live there anymore. They have to be out, yeah? I don't know what happens to, like, for example, in India. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. I will ask my teachers. But the Christians, the Jews, and the Magians, if they pay the jizya, yeah, that's a poll tax. Yeah, if they pay that, they don't need to fight in the army. Yeah, they don't need to fight in the army.
Yeah.
What they will do is they can live in their own lands. They can do what they like. You drink alcohol, no problem. As far as I know, whatever they want to do, they can do it. Yeah, as long as they live in. Yeah, they have their own law. Yeah, drinking alcohol. Yeah.
But the people that, like, for example, like the Sabians, I don't believe there's any Sabians that exist anymore.
Some fire worshippers.
Yeah, and then the people that were kind of like mentioned before that were living under Islamic law, that were marrying, basically incest. That's kind of, that's not permitted in Christianity or Judaism, as far as I know. So wouldn't that apply?
I don't know what the religion is. So I don't know if it will fall onto what Islam.
Sorry, but would that not mean that they're basically not they're not a like